his little tiny business, and we moved our family from Ontario to New Brunswick, and we had no money. We were in just a season of like, we had just so little, you know. And I remember one time going on the highway with some friends in the car, and the door fell off on our 1972 Dodge Aspen. A little embarrassing. I remember my mom had found some discount store, and she bought like bulk ice cream cones, and I remember going to school with like, here's 12 ice cream cones. Have fun explaining at lunchtime what that's all about. Here's your lunch. And I grew up strong and healthy, and you know, the Lord provided, and it's just an interesting season in our lives. And it was in that season, we were living in a trailer park on the side of the St. John Valley there in New Brunswick in Heartland. And I remember looking out, I had the top bunk, and looking out my window and seeing the other side of the valley, and you know, thinking about prayer and thinking about God. And I remember thinking, you know, if I prayed really hard, if I really meant, if I was somehow like really sincere, God would hear my prayers. You know, if I like screamed internally, you know, God might make some sense of my jumbled prayers, and might make it out beyond the stars, beyond the St. John Valley there, somewhere way over there where God lived. One night, I had a need in that season for a pair of jeans. I was really feeling out of place. We moved a couple provinces over. They knew French, I didn't, and the math was different, and I was just feeling sort of weird and left out. I don't know if it was funny, but I'm sure it was me. Is it because I'm like buried in smoke? It was in that season I had a need for a pair of jeans. You know, I felt like everyone, I don't know. He's asking Jared to turn off. This is very, yeah. Okay. You can just pretend because we're Canadians, it's actually our cold.
Woo! Go Canada!
So hot. Anyway, it was in that season I had a need for the pair of jeans, and one night, with my brother and my mom, we were kneeling by the bunk beds, and I prayed for a pair of jeans. And once you know it, a couple mornings later, folded up on our little front porch there, in that trailer park, was a pair of jeans meant for a second grader. And all of a sudden, in my mind, you know, it was almost like the God way beyond the other side of the river was walking around my trailer park. I think even in my youthful heart and mind, I knew it wasn't like, you know, the angel Gabriel hadn't swung by some like heavenly TJ Maxx and delivered them there. I think I knew it was someone in my community, someone in that trailer park at that Bible school that saw a need in our family and stepped in and met a need.
Amen.
But I also knew that it was an answer to my prayer, and in a finite sense, it was God.
Amen. Amen. Woo!
We the church, we get to be God's hands and His feet. We get to lay our lives down to be a physical example to the world of what Christ did for us on the cross. You know, we get to put others' needs before our own.
Amen.
We get to lay our lives down for the weak and for the needy. We get to minister to our families that are hurt and broken, to our communities that sometimes are hopeless, to our nation that is void of morality sometimes. We get to be salt and light. We get to be the real Jesus. That same Bible school, there was this Irishman that would get up on stage and he'd lead an old hymn written back in the 20s by an Irish lady. You might know it, some of the old timers might know this one. The lyric went